Hi everyone. Last lesson I showed you how to use Photoshop filters to create 4 versions of your self-portrait, your Mona Lisa self-portrait. This lesson I'm going to show you how to put it all together and how to change the colours. So, the first thing we need to do is open up Photoshop. And we're going to create a new document. So go create new. Now, we want it to be A3 so that I can print them out and so that you can then put them into your visual arts diary. So up the top here, you've got different types of paper. We want to go to print paper and we want to find A3. You probably will need to click view all presets and then click on A3. And over here, you're going to have to title it. So I'm going to call it Pop Art Portrait. And so it instantly, we have our 297 millimeters by 420 millimeters, which is A3. The resolution, 300 pixels per inch, means there's 300 dots in every inch. That's quite a few dots. That means that the dots are tiny and they've shrunken down so that when you print your work, you can't see those dots. Those dots are called pixels. And when you don't have a lot of pixels, they enlarge and you can see them and they don't look too good. Okay, so make sure that's 300 and then we click create. Now, the next thing we're going to have to do is go up here to window and we need to make sure we click our history because we want to see our history and also our layers. Okay, so you'll notice that this palette now, and I'll drag it down so you can see it, has history and, oh, it's locked. It has layers and history. If your history is separate, all you have to do is drag it over and then merge it with that. We'll try that again. Merge it with your layers and then that way they're all in one spot. Okay, the next thing we need to do is go to view. We want to view, we want to go to go snap to guides. We want guides, layers, document bound. So we need to click that, make sure they're checked, and we need to click snap as well because we want to use that. You'll see that in what I mean in a moment. Okay, and so make sure you've got those two, and I'll show you how that works. Next thing we're going to do is open each of those images that we made last lesson. So we go to File, Open, and I've saved them on my desktop in a VA folder. And they're just here. There's the first one. Penny Pop Art, Open. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to go Edit. Oops, I'm going to click on that image. And actually, I'm just going to go Command A, which means select all. This is where Photoshop's come in, shortcuts come in handy. Control C, and now I'm going to paste it onto my A3 document, which is up here, just here. It's called Pop Art Portrait. There it is. And now Control V, and it's pasted Penny in. Now, as I move Penny around, can you see the pink guidelines? That's exactly what I wanted. And I'm going to place Penny right in the corner up the top so that the bottom right is sitting on the guidelines. Can you see that? And now all I have to do is stretch Penny outwards so that she fills the rest of that spot. Now I've got the exact amount of room for the other 3. I click Enter, or just click your mouse pad, and now it's time to get the other 3. So, File, Open, and I'll get Penny Pop Art 2, open. Now I'm going to click on Penny and I'm going to use the shortcut, Control A. And then to copy it, it's Control C. And now I'm going back to my portrait. I'm going to click Control V. There she is. Now I'm going to drag her so that she's butting up against the two pink lines. Can you see how she's sitting there? That means that she's just slipped. And notice how she snaps. She snaps to those lines. She just clings to them. That's because I checked snap to. Now I'm going to just drag her out gently so that she fills up the rest of that top half. And then I'm just going to tap my mouse pad. There we go. Now I've got two more. So File, Open, Pop Art 3. This one's in black and white. Again, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then back to the pop art portrait, Control V to paste. So we're just going to put her down here. Again, she's going to sit in that corner, and I'm just going to drag the bottom left out so she fills the rest of that page. Enter. And one more. So File, Open. And this one's a speckled one. Control A, Control C, Control V. Nice and quick. And drag her into that last segment there and stretch her out. It's really important that it's neat because, okay, you want it to look like it's a grid. Okay, now we're almost done, but I kind of think, you know what, Penny needs a bit of colour. So let's change the colours, shall we? So we're going to go over to our layers, and I'm just going to click on layers. This is the history. I want to see my layers. There we go. There's 4 different layers. If I can also just use the eye to sort of make them disappear so I know which layer is which. Okay, and I'm going to start with layer 4, which is this bottom right. And I'm just going to go to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Hue Saturation. Now you remember that hue saturation, hue means colour and saturation means how vivid that colour is. I'm actually going to change the colour. So I'm going to go to hue. I'm going to have a bit of fun with this. I'm going to make her green. And then I'm going to go to saturation and make her really bright. Don't forget, I want to make this look very pop arty. Then I click OK. Now I go to the next layer. You can see that's my layer 3 here. I'm going to do the same. So Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturation. Again, I'm going to change her colour. Now this is where we have to play with the saturation a bit first. So I might make her pink. Okay. We can also play with lightness and darkness too. And that colours the whole background, which looks kind of good too. So I might make a bit less. And click OK. Now I'm going to go to layer 2. Again, Image, Adjustment, Hue Saturation. Change the hue. Just can't see that. Oh, I like purple. You can see what I'm doing there. And it's even better when I increase the saturation. It makes it really pop out and look more like Andy Warhol's artwork. And I click OK. And finally, layer 1. That's selected. I go to Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturation, change the saturation first. I think I might leave this one original. I won't change the hue this time. They all look different, and that's the whole idea. You want them all to look a little bit different. Then I click OK, and there's my pop art portrait, and it's multiplied 4 times, just like Andy Warhol's. So now we're going to save it. I'm going to save it twice again. File, save as. I'm going to keep it as a Photoshop file. Make sure it's in the correct folder so I can find it next lesson. I click save. Okay. And finally, I'm going to save it as a JPEG. That's really important because that's the file that you're going to upload onto Canvas. So file, save as, and I go down to JPEG and I save that. Whatever you do, don't upload your Photoshop file because I won't be able to see it. I'll need to download it and then open it up again, and it'll take me a while. Now I'm going to show you my folder with those 2 files so you can see what they look like. So I'll go to my desktop. Okay, so okay, there's my folder, and there's Penny Pop Art. Oh no, Pop Art Portrait, JPEG, and PSD. How do I know it's a JPEG? Because it says here JPEG. And how do I know that's a PSD or a Photoshop file? Because it says PSD. Have a look how big the PSD is. That would take a long time to upload. It's 55 megabytes. It's huge. Whereas the JPEG is much smaller. So you can see why a JPEG is really, really handy for uploading things on the internet. For instance, uploading onto Canvas. Okay, so that's it for today. Have fun with that and enjoy. Thank you.